Welcome everyone. Yeah, that's right. The Brother Mike's Second Chance Show. All new show designed for the world to see. We welcome the second chance stories and testimonies. All are welcome this time around. So make sure you bring your talent, gifts, music, arts, beats, and sweets. Sponsors, you're welcome too. As we embark upon this new season, we will cover all topics and give platforms to the entertainment world and the Motor City. It's about to go down the second time around. Visit www.brothermike.com for more information. And make sure you tune in every second and fourth Sunday at 5 p.m. on WHPR TV 33. It's the Brother Mike Show.
Our third season, and I am just excited about what God is doing in Brother Mike's life. You're tuned in to the Brother Mike Second Chance Show. Thank you for allowing us to come into your homes and to come into your hearts. No matter what I face, no matter what may come my way, I'm confident in this, that God has got me. Has he got you today? I'm sure he has. He woke you up this morning, started you on your way. It's the third season here at the Brother Mike's Second Chance Show, and we're so excited, we're so blessed, and we're so happy. We're so grateful to you, our TV viewers. It's just without you, there's no us. So we're thankful that you're tuned in today. We have a lovely, lovely, exciting show lined up just for you. We're so grateful. God is doing some amazing, great things in Brother Mike's life. I've just been nominated for Gospel Choice Music Award. I just found out last week for Contemporary Artist of the Year, Male Vocalist of the Year, and Talk Show Host of the Year. Here at WHPR Studios, we're so excited, and we just exude to you that God is just still faithful, and he's just. It's our third season. A lot of people didn't think we'd be around for 3 years, but we're very excited. God favored me, and so for that, I'm so grateful. If God can make your name great, if he makes your name great, it's only because he knows that you're going to make his name great. We're here at the Second Chance Show for our third season. We're just excited. Our guest today is the one and only legendary Martha Reeves, Detroit's own legend here right in our city. She took time out her busy schedule to stop by the Brother Mike Show, and she's in the building. So you stay tuned. Get the family, get everybody together, and let them know that it's about to go down right here on the Brother Mike Second Chance Show. We got some new and exciting information to share with you, so stay tuned. We'll be right back. Don't touch that dial unless you're turning it up. We'll be right back. Your word, your glory, your goodness, and your honor you gave. Second chance. Higher, higher, and higher. I'll keep climbing.
Welcome, Judge Mathis. Thanks for coming to share an important message with the Wayne County taxpayers.
Well, thank you for allowing me to help. You know, most of my life I was a resident of Wayne County, and so I'm here to help because Treasurer Shabri wants to work with Wayne County homeowners to keep families in their homes and prevent foreclosure.
If you're having trouble making your property tax payments, let us know. We have many resources to help.
Take the first step towards staying in your home by going down to the Wayne County Treasurer's office on the 5th floor of the International Building in Greektown.
Stop by today to learn more about our payment plans and especially the newly extended interest rate reduction program.
Already in the payment plan? It's important you stay in good standing.
Making property tax payments is now easier than ever. We have placed payment kiosks in Rite Aid stores and community centers across the county. We've also added kiosks in our offices. Contact us at 313-224-5990 or email us at taxinfo@waynecounty.com.
State Farm agent Julie Carter is committed to providing service that goes far beyond quality products and discounts. Julie's here to help life go right with 24-hour assistance, flexible payment plans, and top claim services. Please call Julie Carter anytime at 586-739-2367 for all of your auto, home, life, and health insurance needs. A new exciting platform for independent artists, new artists of the new millennium. It's the Brother Mike Second Chance Show. This platform is designed to showcase and share the second chance that has been given to those who have been blessed to receive another chance at a journey in life that they thought would never come. This show is sure to bless you and to encourage you with not just the musical talents, but life testimonies of how one has made it over by the favor and grace of God. This show will feature local and national artistry. Join us each and every second and fourth Sundays of the month at 3:30 p.m. on TV 33 and Channel 91 for Comcast subscribers. Or download Roku on all media devices. For more information on the show, visit www.brothermike.com or email us at thesecondchanceshow@brothermike.com.
Hello, my name is Tanae K. Kazmaina, and I am owner and president of Success Ocean Consulting. So tell me, how many of you are ready to finally turn your dreams into reality, those goals into achievement, and the thinking that you're doing into results? If you've ever wanted to do something and you're just not sure of what it is that you want to do, or you've done something in the past and you were not successful at it, or you have a goal that you want to achieve and you're just sure not how to achieve it, well, guess what? That's where I come in. I'm the key to the lock that you need opened. You are an expansive, creative being. You have infinite potential. If you want to go deeper and really get to the results that you want out of life, then schedule an appointment with me. The schedule link is going to be below. All you have to do is schedule an appointment and we can just talk about it at no cost to you, except for the time, to see if we're an energetic fit to go forward. I have plenty of programs, plenty. So there's something that I'm sure that I have that will at least start to take you to where you want to be and the results that you want out of life. Okay, everybody. Thank you. It was wonderful meeting you all. And again, schedule an appointment. I guarantee once you realize what's really been going on, you won't want to go back. Bye.
Welcome back to the Brother Mike Second Chance Show. Oh, we're just excited today that you chose to tune in to the Brother Mike Show. We're so happy about our guest today. We have with us, she is an American R&B pop icon, former politician, and the lead singer of the Motown girl group, Martha Reeves and the Vandellas, Grammy Award winner, singer, multiple hits. This has been the core anthem of our life. Her music literally has raised all of us, and we're so excited that she chose the Brother Mike Show today. We help me welcome none other than Martha Rose Reed. How are you, Miss Martha?
Miss Reeves is happy to be here.
Miss Martha.
How you doing, Mr. McNeil? Mr. Mike McNeil, I'm on your show, and I'm also a former politician. I served on the Detroit City Council from 2005 to 2009.
Yes.
And I represent a lot of people who were discovered by a man named Berry Gordy.
Yes.
Has a house that was turned into a studio at 2648 West Grand Boulevard. And I'm watching it turn into a museum,
wow,
which should be fabulous for the city of Detroit. So thank you for having me on your show, and I'm glad to still be in Detroit.
Thank you for coming. Miss Reeves, you have been such an inspiration to the city of Detroit, along with from everybody, like you say, from the council on down to representing us well, even in the world. How does this make you feel to know
Well, I got a little arthritis, and I'm working and praying to God that He'd help me deal with that. Just turned 78, and this is my 79th year of life, but it's also my 68th year of show business. So I've spent most of my life rejoicing and praising the Lord and spreading the word.
Can you, for us, it's so many questions that were trending on Twitter when they found out you were coming on. But the number one question that no one really asked that I want to ask is, how did it all begin for you?
Well, my grandfather, Methodist minister Elijah Joshua Reeves Sr., had a church on Du Bois and Leland called Metropolitan AME, and at the age of 3, me and my 2 older brothers, Benny, of course everybody knows he's one of the best singers in the world,
Yes.
and Thomas, we decided to be in an amateur show that they held at Metropolitan AME, and we won first prize,
Wow.
which is some chocolate-covered cherries. I was
That's
3.
what the prize was?
Yeah, I was 3.
Wow.
Thomas was 4, 5, and Benny was 6. We're very close in age.
Mm-hmm.
But it was their group, but they let me sing in it. But once we won that candy, I kind of took charge. And if they weren't nice to me, they couldn't have one of those chocolate-covered cherries. We ate them one a day until the dozen were gone. But that's how I began singing. And my first song to ever be taught by Mama was, can I sing it for you?
Yes, of course.
Jesus loves me. And I changed the words. Yes, I love Jesus, since I was born in 77. Yes, Jesus loves us, for the Bible tells me so.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
We got an extra treat. At what point in your life did you know, I have something? I really have something.
Mama taught me poems, and she would stand me up in front of the church congregation, and she would point out the fact that I could retain lyrics, and she started me on my way, and she always told me do the best I could the first time so I wouldn't have to be sorry or have to do it again. Once you do the best you can, that's all you can do, and that's a motto that I've used all my life. So I knew when Mama took special interest in me, being the first girl of 12 children, with 4 other girls to set an example for, I knew that I had something that Mama promoted. I might be living vicariously through her dreams, because she idolized Billie Holiday, and when she got tired of whipping us to make us be quiet in those beds where there were 3 or 4 in each bed, she would sing to us. And the ballads that I've sang and recorded, I've always tried to sound like Ruby.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And my dad played blues guitar.
Your face when you talk about your mom.
Well, my dad played blues guitar, though. He sang, too. In fact, he woodshed with John Lee Hooker, and on one occasion when we were the Delphis, the first group that I sang with in the city of Detroit, we did backup on one of John Lee Hooker's songs.
Oh, wow.
So I've been in the mode of music all my life. You know, we're the generation before television.
Oh, of course.
So we used to sit around and sing along with Mitch. Once he did have a program with the lyrics and the words, with the bouncing ball, we would entertain ourselves, listen to Randy out of Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh, wow.
Randy's record shop. And so music has been a part of my life all my life. Both
And
parents singers, daddy playing guitar, all the neighbors. You know, we were the most talented kids on the block.
I imagine so. Can you imagine that block with them growing up and singing? At what point did you decide that you wanted to go professional with your career?
Well, my first public appearance was at the Henry Ford Auditorium. Abraham Silver, one of the finest music teachers I think any school ever had, public school, taught me box aria, and had me perform before 4,500 people at our now defunct Henry Ford Auditorium.
Right.
It was the most, just like he made good factories for us to work in.
Yes.
That auditorium was good
It
for
really was
music.
stellar. It
and
was
it was the
stellar.
best state-of-the-art
Yes.
acoustics. So I stood there and I sang box aria that he taught me, knees shaking, afraid of everything, but I was taught opera in Northeastern High School.
Oh,
so
wow.
anytime I'm ready to go, hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. So then I got my roots, and I knew when I heard that applause that I wanted to be in show business. I knew then, I might have been 17, that I had something. I had studied Marian Anderson. I'd listened to a lot of, my brother was in the record club when he was in the military. Benny would send home records from the Columbia Music Club. So I got to listen to Ella Fitzgerald and Nancy Wilson and Sarah Vaughan and Nina Simone and Gloria Lynn and all of the great singers in the business. And when I was 3 years old, I saw Lena Horne singing at the Paradise Theater. Don't know why there's no sun up in the sky, stormy weather. And I felt something. When I saw her, I said, if she's that beautiful and can sing the blues, I must have something too, because I felt her, and I wanted to be like Lena Horne. Then I met Della Reese in church, at Reverend Rundler's church.
Right here in the
New
city
Liberty
of Detroit.
Baptist. I was sitting there in between Motown and the 20 Grand, because that's where I was discovered in the 20 Grand. She stood up in the church. Reverend Rundler says, Della's in town. Stand up and give us an A selection. And this beautiful woman stood up. She had her own hair in a French roll. Like a lot of us didn't have hair enough to put in a French roll, but she had her own hair, and she was so tall and shapely and beautiful. And she sang Amazing Grace, a cappella, no keyboard, and shook those rafters. I could see the chandelier swinging behind her beautiful voice. So I decided that day that I would discover her music and listen to her. Her name was Reed, Della Reese, and I'm Reeves.
Right.
So I said, that's something to go by. Similar to how when I saw Aretha Franklin at the age of 8 years old in her grandfather's church, when Reverend Franklin said, come on, baby, sing that song. And she stood on a little soapbox and sang, Never Grow Old. Her name is Aretha. I'm Maratha. So I kind of listened to her and followed her and analyzed her and everything. So I kind of knew I wanted to be a singer. Now, being famous, that was something that I was asked to be. William Stevenson came in the 20 Grand and asked me to come to Hitsville, that I had talent. I had heard about Berry Gordy, but I didn't know him. I didn't know those rich people on the boulevard.
Were they
on the
considered
east side.
rich back then?
Yeah, well, that's a mansion.
Yeah, it was a mansion.
The family, the Gordy family, was full of entrepreneurs.
Okay.
Okay.
In the early 50s?
His father was in construction and helped change that house to a studio. A lot of people don't know that. He put those boards in there. He did put that soundproofing in there.
Yeah, a lot of people doesn't know that.
Yeah.
And that's how that conformed into Motown.
They had a Booker T. Washington grocery store over on Farnsworth.
Wow.
Oh, there's pictures in the museum. If you ever visit the museum, you see what I'm talking about is really true. Berry Gordy's mother sold insurance.
Oh, wow.
She was an insurance lady. Fuller also had a printing company. So it was a house full of entrepreneurs. So they put their money together from the corporation and started Berry in the music business. But you know what else helped? Esther Edwards, who took the house after Berry left and made it into a Motown museum.
Yes.
She was married to a senator, Senator George Edwards.
Okay.
A lot of people don't recognize the fact that you do need the politicians to help you get established.
Oh, of course.
And if you do have a favor from them, they'll sometimes promise you a favor too. Somehow, we became the Motown sound.
Yes.
From just the little efforts of the Motown Gordy family.
Take us back to the very first time you met Mr. Gordy.
I had been in his company 3 whole weeks. When I got there, after being given a card by William Stevenson, he asked me to answer a phone. He'd be right back because I caught him very busy the next day after he gave me a card. Now, what I should have done, Mike,
What kind of card?
he gave me a business card when
Oh,
I finished.
one of his business
I
cards.
finished singing at the 20 Grand those
Okay.
3 nights. So he gave me this business card and said, "You have talent. Come to Hitsville, USA." And I think that was protocol because he was going all over the city finding funk brothers, those jazz musicians that recorded our music, and finding other talented people. And so I felt like, ooh, I'd been discovered. So the card had a Mary Wells on it, who had been discovered by Berry Gordy. She had gone in the gold room of the 20 Grand. A lot of people don't remember the 20 Grand, and I hope to God that I can put this in a documentary. There were 4 busy rooms of the 20 Grand.
4 different rooms.
There was a gold room, there was the main room, and there was a room where we could go and slide around on our socks and slide around and introduce our music.
Okay.
Mary Wells found Berry Gordy in the gold room one day and told him that she wanted him to let Jackie Wilson sing a song, and she just burst out in the song in his presence with all those people around. Well, you know you took my heart and you broke it up. Why did love, baby? Well, bye-bye, baby. And Barry was amazed at her beautiful talent and the fact that she wrote the song. He said, I'm going to make you #1 female vocalist all over the world. And yes, he did.
Did he?
That's how she got discovered. She was on that card, okay? Then there was a guy who had made a record with Berry Gordy called Money. Barrett Strong had a record out called Money. Everybody liked that record, especially my daddy, because he worked for the city with all them kids. He loved that song. He figured everybody should have that as their motto. The best things in life are free, but you can give them to the birds and bees. I need money. Yeah, I'm saying that a lot myself lately. Anyway.
I love her.
Anyway, so there was Eddie Holland had a record out called Jamie. A lot of people don't know. He had as great a voice or as beautiful a voice as Jackie Wilson.
Eddie Holland and Doja?
Holland, Doja, Holland.
Okay.
All three of those guys were singers. All of the producers at Motown were singers. All
Did
of
they
them.
choose not to sing, or
No,
they
they
more
found
money
it
in
better.
writing?
They found it better to use somebody else to sing their songs.
Okay.
You know, I could really not really being vulgar or being just going streetwise, because this is a gospel show. But I'm a singing prostitute.
Right. I wouldn't
Because
say
people
that,
had
Miss Martha.
Yes, it's the truth. It don't have to be nasty. They use the artists to sing their songs to make money off of them.
How did you feel about that?
I felt good about it.
You
That place was
did?
full of talented people. I felt honored to be asked to come there.
Okay.
When I got there, I was asked to answer a telephone. He'd be right back because he was writing a song for this drummer named Marvin Gaye.
Oh, okay.
I have
Marvin
a story.
was a drummer.
I have a story.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I wrote a book entitled Dancing in the Street, The Confessions of a Motown Diva. And it's out of print now and was published by the Brown Company. They're out of print. But it tells a lot. It's got a lot of wonderful pictures in it. But Berry Gordy, the genius that he was, knew how to hire people to do things to make us become artists. We had a personal development woman named Maxine Powell.
Right.
I always call her Professor Maxine Powell because she was so learned in her skills. She had a finishing school with Carmen Murphy, one of the first ladies of beauty here. She had a house called Carmen Murphy's House. Mrs. Powell partnered with her and opened up a finishing school, and they taught us all how to be ladies, how to sit, how to walk, how to do our makeup, how to become socially accepted. Because there was a time we couldn't go in restaurants and we couldn't sit at counters. We weren't allowed in certain places.
Take us through those years.
I can't take you all the way back there.
I
We
mean,
don't have
just
enough
some
time.
of it.
Yeah.
Were you humiliated that you were the star and you weren't allowed in some places?
No, we were a busload of people traveling on a 3-month tour.
With the Motown?
Motown Review.
Review.
That's right. No, I'm from the South. I knew the rules. I knew how, they had black and white faucets and different restaurants and things wouldn't let you in. They had different toilets, and most of the black toilets were so nasty you didn't want to do that.
Wow, Lord Jesus.
Anyway, most of the bus members didn't know about the racism and the separatism that existed in the world, because it wasn't just the South, it was the West, and
Yes.
anywhere you went, if you were black, you had to, they had old saying, if you're black, get back, if you're
Right.
white, you're all right, if brown, stick around, if you're yellow, you're mellow. I
Yeah.
heard that a lot in my life.
Yeah.
But on this tour, we were face to face with shotguns.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, we got shot at, we got ran out of places, and we were just touring our music. Once we got to the stage, though,
It was
and
something
those
different.
segregated audiences, we wouldn't know where to look. So on one occasion, I got to tell you about this. On one occasion, Smokey Robinson was bold enough to tell the people that were standing there with those baseball bats, they were going to hit anybody that got up, whether they were black and white, because there was a barrier down the middle of the floor. Whites on one side, blacks on the other. So Smokey said, we're going to have, he talks high.
Right.
We're going to have a good time on these two guys with those baseball bats to go somewhere, get away from our audience, because our music is worldwide, and we're going to dance and have a good time, and nobody's going to get any reason to be hitting the head with those clubs. So step back and let us have a good time. And it was the finale song, Mickey's Monkey. So we got on that stage, all of us, and started acting like the monkeys that the song calls for. And the audience got up and started dancing and rejoicing, and they broke that barrier down, and we saw people slapping the hands, giving each other fives that had never even looked at each other when they walked in, because there was a rule you didn't look each other in the eye or something like that down south.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but the people got up and started giving each other high fives and hugging and rejoicing, and we saw that fellowship come together. So I know our music is love music.
Oh,
you don't have
yeah.
to send the kids out in out of the room in order to sing our lyrics, and most of the lyrics are about love.
Exactly.
About love.
And a lot of them could be gospel songs.
They are gospel
Yeah,
songs.
I
Because
remember you telling me
Holland
that.
wrote songs like Ready for Love.
Yes.
I sang a song called Bless You.
Yes. And,
And,
I've got sunshine.
Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide from the devil. You know,
Right.
you got to know what you're singing when you
Oh,
say
wow.
it. And you got to mean it from your heart. Like love is like a heat wave. That's the Holy Spirit from the top of your head to the tips of your feet. Ain't no man never made me feel like no heat wave.
Wow.
It's Jesus.
Yes, sir.
It's the Holy Spirit. You know
Thank
that's
you.
real.
Yes.
You know, we're going to all dance in the streets of glory.
This is just
We're
some
gonna all
great
dance in the
information.
streets.
I
Yeah.
think y'all need to get everybody to the TV for this. This is a one-on-one inside edition of the Motown life and the history of Sister Martha Reeves. This is a historic day for the Brother Mike Show. I would say you probably are my most famous guest so far.
Oh, I'm not that famous.
I don't realize.
I'm
I don't
not
know
as
if
famous
you.
as you got a TV show.
I don't know if you realize what you mean to our city. And, you know, you being you, nobody else could be Martha. But it's so, I'm so grateful that God showed you favor. And he chose you.
My journey started when I lived in L.A. When Berry Gordy left Detroit, I did too. I lived in L.A. for 14 years, and while I was there, I was taken to a prayer retreat in Lake Arrowhead, and I got reborn in 77. When I returned back to Detroit, both my parents were in the hospital, and they were helping me care for my son. I'm a single parent. So Mother Waddles was commissioned by Reverend E.V. Hill in Los Angeles to give me my missionary papers because I earned it. I did my studies, and for 7 years, I did earn my right to be a missionary.
Really?
So then when I got back and I started studying with Reverend Steve Thompson and Barbara Jean Johnson over at the Lord's Side, they introduced me to Bishop Simon, and I went through another course to get my doctorate in humanities, and I also did another 6 months to get my doctorate, my bachelor's in religious studies.
Really?
What a thrill. Now I'm certified because I can read the Bible and understand it.
Of
I had
course.
years of reading it, and because I didn't know Shakespeare, had translated the Bible from King James.
Exactly.
The words are backwards because the Greeks and the Latins wrote from right to left. We read from left to right. We had to take the scripture and the verses and turn them around to get the right understanding. So when I found out through the Word that we're heirs of Jesus,
oh, yeah.
that he came here and died on the cross for us, for our sins,
Yes.
that we all sin and come short of the glory, but that we haven't committed a sin except blasphemy that is unforgivable. Now, people are walking around with guilt on them. You know, they feel so ashamed for something they might have done under the influence of the devil. But when you find out that if Jesus is in your heart and lives in you through the Holy Spirit, you don't sin anymore. You're not perfect because you're still under repair. But you
Exactly.
can find a way to the tree of life. You can see the light.
Oh, yes,
You
of
can
course.
glorify God, and you get the reward for glorifying God with miracles.
Yes.
God will give you miracles
Oh,
and give you
yes.
signs and wonders to let you know you're on the right track.
Yes, he will.
And it's up to you and I to be messengers.
and carry the torch.
Heal the broken heart.
and carry that
Give
torch.
the downhearted
Yes.
faith.
Oh,
Inspire the world. And I'm trying to do it before I leave here, because when you get 78 years old and looking at 79 this year and close to 80, you say, well, this is about time I let people know what my mission is, why I'm here,
Yes.
why I sang all those years at Hisfield, USA. I hate to say it, but I didn't have good business sense. I had talent, but not good business sense, because no anywhere in the world would I have sang that long for a third of a penny. And then share my career with some people who really didn't care much for me, and who are not working with me at the moment. People ask me all the time, where are the Vandellas? I made that name up.
Did
But they're
you?
somewhere talking about the original Vandellas and singing with some girl and making a mess of my music.
Oh,
but that's
really?
okay. Yeah, that's okay. God has
Yes,
me.
yes.
He inspires me.
Oh, yeah.
I'm singing for Jesus now.
Oh, yeah. And you are the star.
my testimony, I recorded it. You heard it, and
Yeah.
your choir helped me sing it. It's called "Show Me the Holy Highway."
Yes, I love that
I've been
song.
on the road too long. Show me the holy highway. I want to go to heaven.
Yes.
Show me the way I want to live righteous.
Right.
Starting today, Lord, won't you guide my feet and hold my hand?
Yes.
Take me to that promised land. Give me the right words to say. Show me the holy highway.
Oh, yeah.
I got a testimony, and I had a chance to write it down, but then sing it. It took 10 years to record it. Just like you, I know you had
Right.
dreams, and your recordings are dreams that you had. You wrote the poem down, and the next thing you know, you're singing it in the recording studio.
Recording, yes.
So that's how you get started.
Oh, yeah.
Praising the Lord
Yes.
and giving God the honor and the praise for your talents.
So how did it make you feel that Barry had all these people in place? Somebody to show you how to sit, stand, what to wear, what to talk
How to
about,
sing, how to dance.
sing, everything. But
Yeah.
he didn't have anybody in place to show y'all about your money, the money part.
Because that wasn't his job.
it wasn't.
No. As an artist, you're supposed to learn every detail of what you want to be.
That's good information out there for you future artists.
I was invited to be in show business. It wasn't a dream that I had to sit somewhere and say, okay, I'm going to be on the Ed Sullivan Show.
Right.
It wasn't a thing where I thought Dick Clark might have us on American Bandstand. That was not in my thoughts. I was singing in the church. I was singing in a nightclub. I sang 3 little songs, and the next thing you know, I'm discovered. But that's the Lord's will.
Yes, it was.
That's his favor. So what you do is when you get God's favor, you do the best you can with it.
Oh, yeah. The thing about it is that you lasted and you're still touring to this day.
That's right.
This is just a great time. We're going to cut to a clip of her in action, and so you can see what we see. And
Those people that will be on there with me are my band that travels with me. Daryl Smith is conducting, or it might be Alonzo McKenzie, who we just lost. He's been my conductor
wow.
since he was 18 years old. He's gone to heaven now.
Really?
But this clip is a live clip, and I'm singing with my 2 sisters.
Okay.
Lois Reeves, who worked for the NAACP, and she also was with the Urban League, and she's done all kinds of wonderful things. And my sister Delphine, who worked and retired from Blue Cross Blue Shield, who has done a whole lot of wonderful things.
And they now
But
travel
God gave me
with
those
you?
babies. No, they now travel. God gave me those babies, and we all learned to sing for Mama.
Wow.
And we have a real good show. I had to wait for them to grow up, I guess. Get out of high school.
I know they just elated to be on stage with their
Man,
sister.
we got such a harmony and such a good rapport on stage. We got an act that excels, and it gets better and better each time we perform.
That is
We
amazing.
do England 3 or 4 times a year.
Always. You're always in England.
We
Oh,
don't
my
work that much
God.
in America, because America has a tendency to just favor their new artists. They're swept away with rap and hip hop and stuff like that. But I know our music is legendary, and we have meaningful lyrics, and we have songs that will last a lifetime. It's really having fun with the audience now. Because now they know the words, they actually sing the songs. You just point the mic, start the song, and the party starts.
It knows all the lyrics to our songs in the key of
Yeah.
our lives.
That's right.
Can we get that clip right quick? I'm thinking they're getting it ready for us.
Is it Henry Tyler back there? Hey,
That is
Henry.
Mr. Tyler, the best
I'ma
engineer
play
this
that
side.
clip, baby. Thank you, RJ. We went on the Ed Sullivan Show. We had some capri pants, and we had some lovely things that we could dance with the mic cord when it caught on. But Ed Sullivan didn't like our ghetto-looking clothes, so he went back there and found some linen sisters dresses and had somebody adjust them to us. I wasn't used to working with that kind
The
of
Lennon
long.
sisters dresses.
Those dresses, I saw them. They had 4 of them, and they took 3 of them and fitted them to us.
Just that quick.
Just for that show, because Ed Sullivan didn't want to see us in those capri pants. He didn't think that was proper for his show.
Suitable for his
so,
show.
those are changes you go through to be on the Ed Sullivan Show, and God rest his
How
soul.
was it meeting him?
He was, we didn't meet him.
He met y'all.
No, he just called out our name and the show and Martha Reeves and that's about all.
So,
And we did
what
our
do you
show.
remember about that time?
I remember that Tom Jones was on that show, and so was.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was my grandmother's favorite.
Singing,
She loved him. She loved her some Tom Jones.
Yeah, and it was a circus act on there. We followed some elephants.
Really?
And a dog act. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
It was a variety show.
It was. It was a variety show.
Yeah.
Tom
There
Jones.
were quite a few Motown artists that played Ed Sullivan, and we were one of the.
He really
maybe
opened
3 or
the
4.
door. Would you say he was a liberal TV host?
I have
back
no idea
then?
what he was.
Or just
He was somebody.
You all were in demand.
He would give a show. You'd have animal acts. You'd have elephants. You'd
Right.
have tigers. You'd have politicians. You'd have artists from all over the world. He also paired us with international artists.
So it was a variety
A
show.
variety show. No, and there's none on TV like that one.
All right.
None on there
We're going to
today.
cue to this clip right. We're going to try this again.
Get on up, summer's here, and the time is right for dancing. Dancing in Chicago, let's go there, down in New Orleans, in New York City. Oh, baby,
Martha Reeves is in her oil. She is taking over.
That occasion was at the Detroit Opera House.
Yes.
And that was the Motown 60th anniversary celebration.
And that was a
60
great
years!
night.
And I can claim 58 of those.
Wow, and I seen a few clips of that. Sherry Berry's daughter was there, and I saw Beth Griffin sang with Kim that night. I think she sang one of Kim's songs with him that night. Tell us about that night.
You overlooked the talented people and the famous people.
Who? I said, tell us
Ollie
about
Willis
that
was
night.
there.
Ollie.
Suzanne DePass, one of the producers at Motown, who did a lot of productions with Barry Gordon, had a TV show.
Right.
We had the Temptations there. And Sharon Freed's dancers were dancing behind me.
Mm-hmm.
She gave me 8 of her most talented dancers along with herself, and we made a spectacle out of that show, baby. They came out and danced for me so beautiful, and they had on shirts that her husband, Sturge Moreland, who's also a wonderful singer, he had produced those 60th anniversary T-shirts that they were wearing.
Okay.
They made special outfits just for me, and I hired them for that show.
Wow.
And she also worked out at the Northwest Activity Center. She trains babies from 5 to 20 dance on a regular basis. So she's one of our talented. I saw her graduate from Marygrove College with her master's in dance. So she stayed here in the city. She could have gone somewhere and maybe been famous in other New York or
Like in
Hollywood, but
choreography.
she stays here, and she works out of the Northwest Activity Center. Divas and Devos is the name of her company.
Okay.
And if you got some babies that you think have a little talent or think could be successful, give them to Sharon.
Do you know
She'll
what
teach them
day
how to
what
dance.
days that she
I wouldn't
there?
do that much. I would give her just the information. They can call the activity center.
Right.
Her name is Sharon Freed.
And I'm sure that
get
would
the information.
That would be something great for your children to look into if you have kids that are interested in learning how to dance like that.
Be
'Cause they were
performers.
out cold. They were really, really out cold.
She teaches singing and dancing.
Can we, for a minute, touch? I know you had a special relationship with our beloved Queen of Soul. Can you tell us right quick? Oh,
No, I
thought you and
didn't.
Aretha-
No, I'm an admirer and a sister. I had a better relationship, or a closer relationship with her baby sister.
Oh, with Irma?
No,
Which one?
you threw me off track for a minute. The baby sister. She and I visited our fathers in the hospital, and she was telling me to don't go with them because he was in one hospital, my dad was in the other, and both were in a coma.
Oh, really? I
Baby
can't
sister.
think of her name. Carolyn.
Carolyn, thank you.
Carolyn.
Because my mind is stuck on the fact that you thought Aretha and I had a relationship.
It had been
I'm an
said.
admirer of
It had been
Aretha's,
said.
and I've been in her home, and I've been to a radio station to record with her. But I'm an admirer at a distance. It wasn't like we had tea. I remember an occasion when I was going to get an award from the Rhythm and Blues Foundation, and one of the newscasters put a mic in my mouth, said, "How about Aretha?" I had no idea she was ill. I had no idea she was suffering and about to
She
die.
didn't let anybody know.
No, she
let
didn't.
anybody
She didn't
know.
have very many people that she was close to.
No.
She was a very, very, very,
That was closed.
she was a solemn person.
Her niece
but
has
so
said-
talented. You asked Aretha to sing, and the spirit would jump all over her, and she would sing to the glory.
Yes.
But as far as walking up and having a conversation with her, that was hard to do. She
Yeah.
didn't
That's
just
why I wanted your views.
open up to anybody just walking up to
Right.
her. She was so spiritual. She was always in the spirit. And a lot of people don't understand that about her. Some people have come to me and say, well, was she hard to deal with? Was she mean? No. She was a spiritual woman, and the spirit is quiet. The spirit is not loud and boasters.
Exactly.
It's not a pushy person. The spirit is a person who is humble, who is listening for messages and the word from God
Right.
through Jesus Christ. And that's who Aretha Franklin was. That's why she sang to the glory. I loved her Amazing Grace movie that they put out. She wouldn't let them release that movie until after her death. Did you know that?
Really? I didn't.
She gave them, explicit orders. Don't put this out until I'm gone.
Really?
Oh, people don't know.
You think? Well, I'm sure she saw it though.
She recorded it.
Right.
She and
James Cleveland.
James Cleveland in that wonderful church in Los
Yeah.
Angeles, California. And that beautiful choir, Lord, that music, she showed the gold record. That's a golden DVD that's released. I saw it on the airplane.
Yeah, it's
It's gone international.
Yeah, it's like 2
She
million
wouldn't travel
plus
international.
copies.
Aretha was afraid to fly. She wouldn't go to England.
So, like, you would jump on a plane in a heartbeat.
Well, I've been flying since
You not don't
the
fear
first
or
plane I
anything.
got on smoked on the side. It had a propeller, and you stood there and you.
And you still got on it.
You wrapped the propeller, and the smoke would come up past the window. There'd be fire in the smoke, and there would smoke up the window, and the little two-engine plane would wobble off. I've been flying since then. I broke my teeth on a United Airlines flight.
Really?
They used to serve you coffee in a real thick cup. They didn't want the cup to break, but if you did like that while there was some
Right.
turbulence, you'd break your teeth. So I had the
Yeah.
occasion of have my own teeth replaced
What is it
after a flight on
what is
United
it
Airlines.
That you're so? I know we love you all over the world, but England holds a special place for you.
Well,
'Cause
England
you're
holds a
always
special
there.
place for people better than America because they cherish legendary and older things. They're not so bent on the new things. Like if you go there, the buildings still look like what we studied in elementary school. It's still the old country. They still have old buildings. They cherish old things. They have old jewelry in a whole museum of the different. You can go and see royalty. You can go and see. I go to their museums. The English people discovered most of the inventions in the world. It's our mother country, and you don't appreciate it until you go and see for yourself.
Have you
But
been to
they
Buckingham
love,
Palace?
I have not been to the palace, but I have been in the houses of different lords and ladies, and I know the Beatles personally, and I've worked a lot with Dusty Springfield, who was the
Okay.
reason why we did our first Motown review in England. Our history started with Dusty having a Motown review brought there for her BBC special.
Okay.
So like from one friend to the other, she said, I want to put Martha Reeves on the show with me, but they said, no, you can't just have Martha Reeves, you got to have all of the Motown review. This will be the first occasion that I ever played anywhere live with Earl Van Dyke and the Funk Brothers.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That was like, wow.
put us all on a plane. That was real dangerous. But we all landed in England and did that BBC special that made us all famous in England.
Wow. And you've been going ever since.
I'm going to keep going too, baby.
I
'cause
know,
God
that's
is
right.
good. He gives us favor, and we're messengers now. I sing Holy Highway on my show.
Yes.
That's my testimony, and I got to tell the world, that Jesus is real, and God is real. God is all power. And you got to make him your personal savior to understand all of the wonderfulness that I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
I see miracles. I see things change. We got a thrill to have my name put on the door of the coal mine that the Beatles have as a museum now in Liverpool. My name is on a door that leads to where the Beatles got famous. We played there too,
Wow.
at the Caverns.
So I take it you've been to that famous street, Abbey Road. That's famous
I've
street.
seen that. Yeah, I didn't want to walk across it though, barefooted.
didn't?
But I have had the thrill of going in Lord and Lady Londonderry's home and see a guy named Reggie, who later told me was Elton John, play a keyboard, a
Wow.
long, grand piano in a room where he was just visiting the home, but they always featured him on the keyboard. And so I've been among royalty, I've been in palaces, I've seen a lot of the museums and a lot of historical sites in England, and I can ride the double Dutch buses. I can get around in London because I've been there enough.
Wow.
Since '62, we've traveled nearly 2 or 3 times a year to England.
Oh,
and
yeah.
we have a big audience there, and we carry the word as an American and as a Motown artist.
Wow. I can remember back then, dancing in the street changed the entire sound of Motown. Can you tell us a little bit about how that all came about?
Howlin' Doja Howlin' were our first writers, and Come and Get These Memories was the first composition they ever wrote together collectively. So they do have a book out now entitled Come and Get These Memories, and I suggest everybody get it because the Howlin' brothers wrote it, and they're giving away a lot of the secrets of how Motown became. It's a thrill to have been at Artist Development across the street from 2648 West Grand Boulevard. There was a room that they used with mirrors, and that's where Charlie Atkins taught us vaudeville dance steps, and Professor Maxine Powell taught us to walk, to stand, taught us how to pose, taught us how to carry ourselves. And I had finished my courses. When we weren't on the road, Barry was very smart. He kept us busy. When we weren't on the road, we would have to go to a studio to record music or to go to Artist Development.
One or the
And
other.
Artist Development would be a 2-hour course with each instructor. Maurice King and Johnny Allen taught us music theory. Professor Maxine Powell taught us social graces. And Charlie Atkins taught us vaudeville steps. See, we didn't booty bump. We danced with our feet. We danced. We emulated Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. We didn't want to get no belly dancing done in there.
Everybody was in
Everybody
sync.
had a Motown look and a Motown teaching, a Motown training to make us the classy acts that we have become
And
and
that you
become
were.
legendary.
And
And
that
that's the
you were.
example that we had to set for the up-and-coming artists. And a lot of us have not only made copies of our records, but they've also emulated a lot of the moves of the Temptations and the Martha and the Vandellas and the Supremes, and the Contours, and I keep going. The Spinners were the first act, though. They
Okay.
had the first class.
So you are a Grammy
Four tops.
Award winner.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Grammy night.
I'm in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, too.
And you're in the rock.
I'm in the
Award.
Rhythm and Blues Foundation,
But
too.
let's go back to that Grammy night, and you hear your name.
No, I didn't It wasn't like that, honey. Phil Silvers came here from Hollywood and gave us our award over the Elmer Casino in Windsor. I ain't never been presented at the Grammys.
Really?
No.
This is all good information.
They told me when I got famous and Heat Wave was a big hit, they didn't have that Grammy production on TV. I'm ahead of that.
Wow.
My success came before that Grammy show was ever aired.
So you've never attended the Grammys?
No.
Oh, wow. Well, they need to have you next year.
Well, baby, they had Jennifer Lopez singing my music, and I didn't think she did
I know.
a good
How
job
did you
of it.
feel about that?
I felt
was
really
getting to
bad
that.
about
I was
it.
getting to that.
Yeah.
So what was your
She got
thoughts?
her own music, but Smokey Robinson was singing with her, so what could I say? And she didn't just sing mine. She did "Do You Love Me" by the Contours and a couple other Motown songs. So it wasn't any particular thing of mine. It was just that it's a Motown song, and "Dancing in the Street" is an anthem, if you ask me.
It is.
Of
It's
Motown.
a worldwide
Let me tell you,
anthem.
I finished my course at Artist Development. Came across the street, and since I had worked as A&R secretary for 9 months before my first record, I had the run of the place. So I walked in, and there's Marvin Gaye singing "Dancing in the Street." Ivy Hunter and William Stevenson, the two writers, were standing in the control room looking down at Marvin singing, "Calling out around the world, are you ready for a brand new beat, baby?" You know, the way Marvin Gaye style.
Right.
Because Marvin could sing the Star Spangled Banner and make people scream when he got in the
Yeah.
rockets, red glad, the girls went,
Right.
"Ah!" You know. So Marvin was singing this song, and he looked over and saw me because I always followed him around. After singing "Stubborn Kind of Fella," "Hitchhike," "Pride and Joy," Marvin knew I admired him. Now, he was married to Barry's sister, but that didn't matter to me because I didn't want to do nothing but just sing behind him and just watch him because he was so talented. Oh, Marvin could play the keyboard, he could play the drums, but he sang so good and he was so fine. Oh, let me get back.
Come on back,
Anyway,
Martha. Come back.
Anyway, he looked over and saw me. He said, "Hey, man," to Ivy Hunter and William Stevenson, "let's try this song on Martha." And I looked behind me because I didn't even know he was aware of my standing there. And I had learned the song, basically listening to him sing it. But I asked him when I got in the mic with those little Mickey Mouse earphones and the 4-track recorder, I said, "Can I sing it the way I feel it?" And they said, "Yeah, go ahead." So I came with another melody, calling out around, because I knew that we had danced in the street on Rye between Leland and Illinois.
Okay.
We didn't have a recreation hall. We didn't have somewhere where we could go and dance as a neighborhood. So my dad, working for the city water department, had asked, and he and Mr. Elliott, he worked for the DSNR. That's what it used to call the bus company. They asked the police if they could block the street off on Saturday nights, let us dance in the street.
Wow.
So that's when people say streets, I kind of correct them because that's not what the song title is. It's singular. We danced in the street on cobblestones. We danced on Saturday nights to everybody's record player on their porch. And I'm not talking about woofers and tweeters, not those loud things that'll stop your heart if you have a pacemaker.
Right.
I'm talking about, quiet music that you could play in your house and it wouldn't disturb your neighbors. They would put their record players on the front porches. And with those tiny speakers, we could dance all till 12 o'clock
And
in the street. No bother, no cars hitting us, no trucks running into us.
No gunshots.
No gunshots. It was be just the neighbors on that block. It wasn't like we blocked people out, but that was just for us. We blocked off the street and we danced in the street. So when I got a chance to sing that song, that's where my heart and my head went.
It went straight back to those.
It got a lot of controversy because the Black Panthers used it for a theme song.
Oh, did they?
Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
I got to England and they kind of faced me like I was a rebel or something. Made me cry.
Really?
On their TV station.
So you didn't know that the Black Panthers were using it?
My intentions of singing that song was to express the fact that we danced in the street. All we needed was music. And if you listen to the lyrics, it says, every guy around the world, grab a girl, dance in the street. We're going to have fun. It's rejoicing. Had nothing to do with rioting, had nothing to do with any kind of racial disorder, had nothing to do with the police brutality, had nothing to do with any, maybe Marvin might have intended it when he wrote it, him and William Stevenson and Ivy Hunter, who was a rebel. Ivy was a rebel from Vietnam.
Oh, was he?
Oh, yeah. He walked around for a long time saying he wasn't going to even comb his hair until he got a hit record.
Really?
He was a rebel.
Oh, wow. He took the core.
He bought guns to Motown to get his rights. I'm talking about him, but he's still alive. I'm telling the truth.
Yeah, I know you are.
So they wrote the song, but I interpreted it.
Yes.
And I received a lot of requests to sing it, but then a lot of artists copied it. Mick Jagger and Dave Bowie made a whole lot of money for the Live Aid.
I never heard their version of Dancing in the
You
Street.
should.
Really?
It made a whole lot of money. It made more money for them than it did for me. Because
Really?
they were doing it for
A foundation, or something?
for charity.
Oh yeah, and that's what they said.
For AIDS
charity.
benefit.
Oh, okay.
Because at one time, AIDS was out of control.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
And HB positive people,
Right.
you know. Anyway, it's all a part of history.
It is.
And it's still going on. And people, you know, Mick Jagger, Dave Bowie, Van Halen, David Lee Roth, Karen Carpenter, Cilla Black, Dusty Springfield, Bruce the King Springsteen did a little version of it, so did Neil Diamond. Everybody's copied Dancing in the Street.
So
I did the original version, and I know mine is the top because I sang it from my heart, and God bless me to get that spirit that I had when we as children danced in the street.
Yeah.
With the police permission. Did you know that when I came up, if they caught 3 or 4 black people on the corner singing doo-wop, that they would chase them off the corners?
A lot of times. It was that violent.
It was, they wanted control of the neighborhood. They figured if 3 or 4 of us gathered on the corner, we could start a riot or rob the store we're standing in front of or something. We didn't have a good reputation as singers.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't know the difference between gangsters and singers.
Wow.
So we suffered that. You know,
But we made
the
it.
Temps will tell you, though, they started singing on the street corners.
The Temps.
Yeah.
They were bad too.
The Spinners will tell you that, but half of the
So
people
is there
have gone on
another
to heaven
like
already.
Motown review in the makings? Or
I
what's
was
next
hoping-
for Martha?
I was hoping to start a review, but I had a change of heart since I spoke with you last.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have a Jesus review.
That'd be great. That would be great.
And I don't give credit to Berry Gordy or the Motown or anything because Jesus is my personal savior.
Yeah.
And he's got me thus far. Motown left here in the 70s. And I had to keep going. I lived out there in Los Angeles for 14 years. I've been on 4 major labels.
Really?
I've been on Arista, Fantasy for 2 albums, and then MCA Universal, my first one with Richard Perry, where I sang Wild Night. Wild Night is featured in Thelma and Louise movie. I got a lot of music out there that I haven't gotten a lot of credit for.
And you
there's
have a movie.
there's also a movie, Willie Dynamite, where I sang the score on that. And Stevie Wonder called me the other day and said, Martha, I was looking up Dolomite, but I found Dynamite. And there you were singing a song called King Midas.
Wow.
So I got history. I mean, I've been on the lot of Universal Studios. MCA was a subsidiary of Universal. And my history is yet to be told. I'd have a book entitled Dancing in the Street. The Confessions of a Motown Diva is out of print now, but I thought I did a good job of expressing how it was to just grow up here in the city of Detroit. We were made famous by the people in Detroit. That's one of the reasons why I went on Detroit City Council, because everybody in this city supported the Motown sound.
Yes,
they
they
would come
did.
to the Fox Theater, sit for 3 or 4 shows a day, eat popcorn, and pay $2, see 12 acts and a 12-piece band. But they let us rehearse enough on them to be famous enough to go all over the world. And our music is legendary now because Detroit loved us first.
And we're going to stop right there. It's been a great, great show. And I'd like to special thank you to Martha Reeves for stopping by and giving us a little piece of history here in the city. A lot of history here in the
I
city.
ran my mouth, honey.
A whole lot of history. And you got it from her. It didn't come from any book or anybody else saying it. She told it like it was and like it is. We're so grateful and so thankful
Thank
to
you
you
for
coming
the
by.
second chance
Yes.
to find happiness
Yes, thank
with
you.
somebody who is going to be true. Mike McNeil is true. Thank you, Mike. Thank
I'm
you,
so
Brother
grateful
Mike.
To you. I'm so grateful to you. And just to be in her presence is a blessing. And don't forget to follow your dreams. No matter what your visions, your goals, and aspirations are, you too, God can give you a second chance. This is our 3rd season. We're wrapping up here tonight at WHPR Studios, saying God is a God of second chances. Until we meet again.
All because your word, your goodness.